Here it is. This is the document written in legalese, and it does contain some of the things Mr. Cameron was seeking. So it does have that emergency brake, which would enable a ban on EU migrants getting tax credits for 4 years to be introduced immediately. It does introduce a red card system, so national parliaments could club together to block legislation they didn't like, and it does hold out the prospect that a future treaty will ensure Britain is not committed to ever closer union. But this is going to be bitterly, bitterly fought over, because there are significant elements of this which still have to be nailed down, and aspects of it on which Mr. Cameron's critics will seize. Let me just take you through some of the detail. On the emergency brake, there is no time limit on how long it will actually remain in place. It will have to be approved by the European Council. In other words, other EU countries will have to agree to the implementation of the brake, and there is no clarity on who will decide when the brake can be ended. Also, significantly, it is suggested that gradually EU migrants will be able to claim tax credits the longer they are in Britain. Now, that would appear to be a fairly complicated process, with the document envisaging that as migrants are here longer, they will get access to benefits. On the so-called red card, that would enable governments to club together to block legislation they did not like. That will only apply to legislation which impacts on the principle of subsidiarity. That is, the rules which say decisions should be made locally by national governments where possible. In other words, it does not appear to be a blanket block on any legislation which governments do not like, simply on those occasions where the principle of subsidiarity has not been recognised. And on the principle of ever closer union, there is a lot of fine language and an acknowledgement that ever closer union does not mean political integration, but a final, clear, legal exclusion for Britain will have to await another future treaty change. So it is going to be hugely, hugely controversial, this document, because there's plenty of ammunition in it for both sides.